What you're about to listen to is a Bry-Fy production.
Yo, it's Bry-Fy coming live through your Wi-Fi. One-man show, but I'm feeling like a sci-fi. Comic books, video games, catching them all. Pokemon cards stacked, yeah, I'm ready to brawl. From Marvel to DC, I break it all down. Nifty nerd news, got the geeky rundown. Pop culture hits, movies and shows. I stay in the know while the fandom grows. So plug in, tune up, press play, let's ride. This is the Bry-Fy, baby, welcome to the vibe.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Bry-Fy podcast. Sorry, I just ate, so I'm excited. How are you guys? I've been pretty good. Just finished the week up with work. I just got off nights. Well, I say just got off. I got off last night, slept most of the day, till about 2 o'clock. Went to grab RJ from school because he started school this month, and that's been interesting. Well, I wouldn't even say interesting. It's kind of, honestly, this is his third year at the same school now, which will be his final year till he has to move up to the bigger school, the junior high. But it went pretty well, man. Like, okay, let's just talk about this. So yeah, Tuesday was the first day back to school for our son, RJ, and it went about as well as Wednesday. It was Wednesday, sorry, not Tuesday. Tuesday was an off day. Monday was meet the teacher night, and you could already tell RJ was anxious. He knew what was coming, but we'd been preparing him. That's the one thing with our son who's autistic is, when things kind of just get thrown at him and he doesn't have time to adjust, it can be a real struggle. So RJ is he needs times, he needs dates, so that way in his brain, mentally he can kind of prepare, or it's not a surprise anymore. And I feel like he's not a big fan of surprises or things that he hasn't planned for. So giving him a time and a date really helps out. So let him know about meet the teacher, and he knew it was coming. Like, he knew school was coming, so this was no secret. He was a bit nervous at meet the teacher, kind of already like, I really don't want to do this. And we're like, hey, it's going to be fine. Like, you were here last year, like, the routine. Everyone you remember is going to be back, and there might be even some new friends, and he's kind of like, no friends. So cut to Wednesday. Tuesday was an off day. Wednesday, we knew this was going to be the one. This was going to be the bad one. It always is. Typically, RJ is a bus rider. We have discovered that him riding the bus to school goes way better for him in the long run, because he has separation anxiety. So if we take him and then he has to be separated from us at the school, it's like an added just no. It goes awful. So cut to what Wednesday was. We go in, we walk him into his classroom, which you're allowed to do for the first day of school, and we're there. We get to hang out with him for a little bit. It was kind of nice because it was just us. It was myself, Casey, RJ, and we're sitting in the classroom, kind of helping him get situated. Hey, where do you put your backpack? Oh, he found his name tag, like all these cool things, kind of pointing out some neat things in the classroom. We find the clock so we can tell him the time. Hey, we're going to be back at this time. And when we go home, we're going to play video games with Dad. And he's like, oh yeah, I want to play Hyrule Warriors, because that's like the game he's really been into here recently. And he wanted me to play it. So I played the demo version of it. It wasn't enough, so I ended up spending $60 for the real game. And it's kind of like, it's a fun button mash fighting style game. And so it's nice to just veg on a couch and play something that's not very demanding. Anywho, so walking RJ through all these things that should kind of plan for his day and how it's going to go. Of course, he is absolutely distraught about us wanting to leave. He doesn't want that to happen at all. And I get it. I understand. It's like this every year. Casey cries, I cry, RJ cries, we all cry. Thankfully, his teacher comes in the room. She is a angel, a blessing, and just an all-around awesome person who RJ absolutely adores. She was able to convince him to go feed the school pets. They have 2 turtles named Peanut Butter and Jelly, which is absolutely adorable. And, he was upset because he knew what this meant. He knew letting go, because this boy was latched to me like a freaking love bug. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's a Texas thing, right? Love bugs, man. He was latched to me, though. Would not let go. Absolute death grip on my arm. And feeling him finally, I didn't have to, rip myself away or anything. He did let go. He admitted defeat, so to speak, and went to go feed Peanut Butter and Jelly. At that point, my wife and I was like, this is our time to bounce. We got a GTFO and go. Of course, sobbing in the hallway on the way out of the car. But hey, we got out. Things went all right. Only a couple of tears. RJ didn't openly weep this time. Just tears, like really watery eyes, and like that one single tear that only a movie star could produce. RJ is fantastic at that. Cut to the second day of school, and now we're back to the bus ride, and he gets on the bus, no fuss. Just gets on, he doesn't want to get up. Like any kid, he's tired in the morning, doesn't want to get up, doesn't want to do anything, but he did it. Got on the bus, went off to school, didn't hear him scream at all. Like, when things are bad, he will scream on the bus. Didn't do that at all. So, and that is how it's been for the last 2 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, so things seem to be going well when we pick him up in the afternoon, because he doesn't ride the bus back, but we'll pick him up. Teacher said he did great. It's clear that, or they can clearly see that, yeah, he's one of the older kids and one of the leaders in the classroom. So that's good to hear that RJ's back into his routine, which is all that we could ask for, So, yeah, that's what's been going on in our life, in my life. And now we're excited for the weekend, man. The weekend is where it's at. I actually have some things planned. I didn't think I would have things planned in my area, which that's so great. We'll talk about that in the review portion of the Bry-Fy podcast. So after the Nifty Nerd News, we'll talk more about what's happening locally and things that I'm excited for, which at the age of, what am I now, 37, I didn't think, I'm about to be 38 actually, but I didn't think I would live to see this day. But here we are. So we'll talk about that. But first, let's get in to the Nifty Nerd News. All right, guys, up first in the Nifty Nerd News. It is no secret that Spider-Man Brand New Day is just absolutely obliterating the box office. It's making all of the money, I think only behind Endgame. Has everyone talking. Spider-Man fever is back in full swing. See what I did there? And if you're ready for the 5th movie of Spider-Man to take place, you're gonna have to wait. Or at least, if you want the director who did the last one, Destin Daniel Cretton, to be involved, you're gonna have to wait, because it appears that he's moving on to his next project, and it's another live action of an anime. So I was very curious what they were going to pick, and when I read it and I saw that they're going to be doing a live action movie of Naruto, I'm a little concerned, but also a little excited, because Naruto is one of those animes that I think everyone knows about, much like a Dragon Ball Z, much like a One Piece. It's, big action, even has a tournament arc in there, boy fighting team, friendship, rivalry, like these kind of big themes that, a lot of audiences relate to. And so I don't know if there's ever been a Naruto live action attempt, but this one definitely has me curious. And especially if someone like Creighton, who has been involved with Spider-Man, and that movie seems to be doing really well and really well liked and well received, this could be a good thing. Plus, as we've seen with like Netflix's One Piece live action, like we are getting better versions, right? We are getting better at this. Directors, studios, they're getting better at this. They're starting to realize, hey, if you really just give the fans what they want, people like it, people flock to it. And then if you get creatives involved who actually care about the material, that seems to do a really great job as well. I do not know how much of a fan Destin Daniel Cretton is of Naruto, but I mean, if he's willing to like say, I'm not going to do the next Spider-Man movie, at least not yet, until this thing, then, maybe that's a good sign, dude. Like, I think it'd be really cool. Naruto was probably one of the first long episodic anime that I ever finished. Then, that's pretty much it. I think that's probably the only one. I guess My Hero Academia counts as one of those too. One Piece would be considered the longest anime that I've ever finished, but it's not even finished. So we're still watching that. So eventually one day when it ends, hopefully while I'm still alive, I can then call that the longest anime that I've ever sat and watched in my life. But until then, I think Naruto takes the cake for longest anime. So we'll see what happens, man. Kind of excited to see how that plays out. I don't have no idea casting news or anything. I haven't really looked into this at all. This was like, honestly, seeing this article was the first time I ever even heard about it. And apparently it's supposed to be shooting next year. Like, so that's kind of crazy. Actually, you know what? Why stay in the dark when I can just look it up on Google? Like, we're sitting here, oh, there's no official cast yet. Okay, that's great. Okay, all of my hope for this movie has just plummeted. You would think they would have names attached. At least, we're 6 months out from the next year, maybe a year out from filming, but it's close, right? I don't know. We'll see. Moving on, let's talk about this. There has been a historic push in the hiring of 2,000 air traffic controllers. If you don't know, here in America, there's been a huge gutting of federal programs and federal jobs, and for whatever reason, a bunch of FAA air traffic controllers were just gone, either because people weren't staying because the pay was too low, or they were actually just straight up firing people. It was bad. And then there were plane accidents and other aircraft accidents happening around America. So it was a really bad look of things that were happening. Now we're seeing a large hiring push coming for new air traffic controllers. And what's really interesting about it is in the recruitment campaign that they've been targeting people who play video games, gamers, which, we've always been touted and like we've talked about, like, oh man, gamers are so good. You get gamers, they can multitask, they can do all these cool things, plan, strategize really well. Well, now it's time for them to put, money where the mouth is. And so they have hired more than 2,000 air traffic controllers through a recruitment campaign targeting video gamers, who will now go to the FFA Academy in Oklahoma City. They're not just going to send them straight out to be air traffic controllers. They still have to pass the skills assessment, medical, security clearance, all these kind of stuff. And the school, like, they have to go through the school and do, of course, on the job training, like come out as apprentices, then, become fully certified, and then they can be controllers, air traffic controllers. How long does it take to go through the school? I have no idea. I'm guessing this will probably be, we will start seeing these people, if they pass, sometimes next year. But I don't know. I don't know what the data is on that. I mean, we've always been told, like, oh man, gamers do so well. Like, military has touted, like, gamers do well when, like, piloting things like drones and stuff like that. And doctors will use video games to help keep, like, their hand and reflexes sharp whenever they do medical procedures that require the use of robots and things like that. So, I mean, there's definitely a perception that that's real. And I think there have been some studies that show, gamers do have higher, maybe not, I don't want to say cognitive functions, because I know we all know really dumbos, but like, they have good fine motor skills and quicker reflexes. So like there are studies that prove that. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe this going to be a big win? Will this be the one thing the Trump organization does that's super positive? We'll see. Up next, Marvel and Star Wars, both owned by the same company, are planning to do a crossover because they are being absolutely destroyed by DC Comics. There will be a Star Wars Marvel crossover called Hope Assembles, which, is a real shitty name. I can't defend that. But it will be written by famed director-writer Kevin Smith, of course, Clerks and Mallrats and Jay and Silent Bob, Red State, and the list goes on of things that he's done of varying levels of success. He is a fun talker, though. I enjoy listening to his podcast and think he means well, has a good heart. So despite what other people think, I'm hopeful. I'm rooting for Kevin Smith and his projects. Art will be by David Marquez, or Marquez. I say Marquez. Yeah, man, this just screams like we need money. We need to do something because we are falling behind. I gotta be honest, like other than rooting for Kevin Smith, I'm not behind this. This is definitely not something I'm very interested in. One, I'm not a huge Avengers fan. Like when I read Marvel Comics, I'm not reaching for the Avengers aspect of Marvel Comics. So meh. And even like the Star Wars mainline series, I was not a huge fan of it. I read it when Marvel first got the rights back and they were doing stories. I did Star Wars, I think Princess Leia, which was a nice little short run. Darth Vader, that first run, I absolutely loved. That was a good take because it didn't really deal with mainline Star Wars stories. It was like things happening behind the scenes, which I really enjoyed. But this, man, I feel like we can do without. It would be different if it was like this character enters the Star Wars universe, or this Star Wars character enters the Marvel universe, or like Marvel character, Star Wars character team up, something like small, like a little more smaller scope. I think would have been a lot more fun than just let's get these two big teams and try to make it a Marvel event. And I'm not about that, dude. Anyway, what I am about is this next bit of nifty nerd news, and it's that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to have a Zelda-themed console and Pro controller coming out, and we've seen leaked photos of this. It's supposed to be coming out sometime later this year. I'm guessing sometime around Christmas. And when I tell you, it looks pretty good. I mean it, man. I mean it. The Pro controller, meh. Like, I like the color scheme. It's black, gold, Hylian shield in the middle, and it's got a green, kind of like a Link green to it. So kind of neat, but I think the black, gold green doesn't really do it all for me. I don't know. It just doesn't work. The Joy-Cons, however, they have like the black and green scheme with them as well. I think that looks clean. Like just the black and green, or if it was just the black and gold with the Pro controller, like I think I would fit it. I dig it. The Switch 2 Joy-Cons though, those are awesome. I think those look absolutely fantastic. You should look them up. This is what we've been waiting for, man. Like I've thought about buying a second Nintendo Switch 2 because my son really likes some of these games that now he can only get on Nintendo Switch 2. I'm still kind of holding out. But if I were to get a Switch 2, this would probably be the one. My son is super into Zelda, so this would be the cool console that I would get for him. But it looks like you can just buy the Joy-Cons, or at least buy the Pro controller, which maybe if I just buy him a Pro controller, he'll be happy with that. I don't know. We'll have to see. Anywho, more Marvel news. So it looks like Marvel is lowering the price for comic shops to purchase their foil covers. That was a mouthful. So yeah, Marvel Comics, which distributes, or well, they use distributors to get comics out to comic shops so they can sell to us, the consumers. Well, they have to pay for that, right? They have to pay for their distribution to get those comics. Well, Marvel's throwing shops a bone. Now, all the foil variant covers, and this is for as of September 30th, all of its foil variant covers will now have a uniform price of $3 more than the cost of the comic's regular and non-foil variant covers. So basically, I guess that's just saying now, like, hey, if it cost you $1 to buy this comic, now it's going to cost $4 to buy the foil variant of it, right? So just tack on $3 more, which I think is a good deal, man, because the way that I've always kind of understood and the way it's always been explained to me on how like these different variants and stuff go is that like it would vary because like depending on like the scarcity of it, like or the rarity of it, like how like 1 of 50, 1 of 100 type things, like it would cost the shops more or they would have to buy more. So now they're just saying, well, actually here, right, so it kind of explains it here in this article that I'm reading from. Where's this article from? Popverse. It says, for example, in the old method, a $4 Marvel comic could typically cost retailers $2, a 50% discount. But a foil cover would cost $7 to fans and sometimes nearly $6 to retailers, meaning they would make more selling a regular comic book than a foil cover. So see if that makes sense. Normal comics would cost them $2, and because they would have the price on them, they could only sell them for $4. Same thing for the foil. The foils would cost $7, but they would sell the foils at $6. And so basically, I mean, you do the math there. They make more money per issue if they sell regular comics versus foil covers. And that's why you don't see a lot of like room for foil covers and a whole bunch of that. So that's kind of what it means. But now it incentivizes local shops to purchase more foil covers possibly because now they won't get such a huge upcharge on them. Like it's being limited at $3 a pop extra for those. And so you do the math, 2 + 3 is 5. So it's like they're gaining an extra $1 out of that. So maybe they'll be more willing to sell these foil covers. I don't know. It seems like Marvel's doing its best to try to get some more notoriety back in the stores, trying to be like, hey man, remember us, we're the cool guys, right? But we'll see, man. I still don't buy comics like I really used to, and the ones that I do are not coming from Marvel Comics right now. I do have Marvel Unlimited, and that's kind of where I read my Marvel Comics now, but we'll see, man. Will this up the sales of Marvel Comics in stores? Only time will tell. Moving on to the next bit of nifty nerd news. Spirit Halloween is moving up in the world. Their parent company, which I can't remember the name of, just bought Hot Topic. That's right. You and all your little goth friends now can go. I don't know. Your parent company now owns your 2 favorite stores, basically. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I don't know. I just found it funny because does this mean now Hot Topic's going to close for half the year and then come back during the season? Much like A Spirit Halloween. Are we going to start seeing Hot Topics pop up in like a bunch of different rundown buildings? Be kind of pretty crazy, man. Let's see here. So Spencer Spirit Holdings, which is the parent company, announced Thursday it will buy Hot Topic and 2 other stores owned by private equity firm Sycamore Partners. That includes Hot Topic, Box Lunch, and the fashion brand Her Universe. What the heck is that? I know what Box Lunch is because that's basically just Hot Topic, but for preppy kids. No, Hot Topic for not goths, but I don't know, man. I think this is kind of good, right? Like, I mean, Hot Topic definitely a very established brand. If all the stores are going, like if all the malls are losing all their stores and they're appearing abandoned, there's still always a Hot Topic in there, which never ceases to amaze me. So, and same with like Halloween, you know, a Spirit Halloween will show up at some point in a town near you. Maybe not in your town, but it definitely will be in the town next over. Just next over. I think that's what I meant to say. I would love to see a Spirit Halloween where I live, because I think that would be absolutely hilarious. And we have plenty of abandoned buildings that they could just show up in, right? Let's see here. The private equity firm bought Hot Topic for $600 million. Oh, that was the private. That was the first one. Does it say? I don't think it shows how much Spirit Halloween bought. What's up, bud? RJ's here. Daddy is recording.
Okay.
Do you want to say hi?
No.
No. Okay. I love you. Okay. He just shut the door on me. He does not love me. It's because I sent him to school and he's upset. Anyway, so man, I thought I was going to say how much they bought Hot Topic for, but that was when the equity firm bought Hot Topic way back in the day. Oh, wait, right here. Oh, wow, this is crazy. So Spencer Spirits is paying around $350 million for Hot Topic when the equity firm bought it for $600 million. They are selling at a loss here. At least, you know, that's kind of what it seems like. Now, in 2013 money versus 2026 money, what does that mean? I have no idea. But interesting. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe are we gonna see more Halloween themed things in Spirit or in Hot Topics? Are we gonna see more cooler, like maybe better quality? Not to say that Spirit Halloween has bad quality, but you know, I would argue Hot Topic has better quality than what we see in Spirit Halloween. So I don't know. We'll see. And the last bit of nifty nerd news that I have for you guys today: Marvel Rivals is just scorching up the top sellers list over on Steam and other places. And I mean, you got to think about it. It's got to be, you know, Marvel has just had their Spider-Man movie come out, and that's been huge. They've been announcing like big crossovers and things like the Spider-Man Star Wars, and like just really like getting after it. You know, they're trying to announce like the Vision Quest TV show and things like that. Oh, wait. Oh, nope. I see right here. Marvel Rivals actually just announced a new swimsuit special for like a bunch of character skins. So now you get to see like Scarlet Witch, Magic, Storm, Black Cat, all in now like skimpy swimsuits, bikinis, and things like that. No, everyone's just gooning. Yep. Marvel Rivals is still a gooner game, I've heard. And now it's just gone super goontastic. That's what's happening. That is literally the reason why Marvel Rivals is back up. Which reminds me, I need to get back on Twitch so I can watch my boy Twisted Turtles in his Squirrel Girl skimpy suit outfit. Just play some Marvel Rivals. Be right back. No. That's it for the Nifty Nerd News, guys. I want to end on a funny note, and I thought that was kind of funny because I was like, oh man, that's awesome. Marvel Rivals is doing good. I wonder what they released. Swimsuit skins for everyone. You bunch of perverts. Anyway, yeah, so that's all I got for you guys in the Nifty Nerd News. We're gonna take a quick break. No, I forget. We're not doing the breaks anymore, man. We just, because I don't want to edit it now. I'm tired of editing. I don't even have a real good segue song for this portion of the podcast. I just kind of just put whatever is on my mind and just let it go. Anyway, before I let you guys go, we'll talk a little bit about some cool stuff that's happening around my locale, which I was pretty excited for. First up, this weekend here in my hometown, there is going to be a Mystic Realms art walk where magic and creativity unite. It's going to be at the USO Service Center here in Bay City, Texas, from 2 to 6 p.m. A pretty cool later time, like something I'm not used to in this area, but it touts that there's going to be artists there selling works. There's going to be like a kid zone there where people get creative and stuff. It almost seems like it's going to be a little like fantasy convention that they're going to be doing. I'm not 100% sure I am definitely excited for this because I think it could be potentially really cool. Also, it could be really neat to see what kind of fantasy creatives are here in this area that I live in, and maybe it could help make connections and people that I can talk to. So I'm really excited for that, and I want to cover the event while also just enjoying it with my family. So that should be a lot of fun. What's also been really interesting to see and people talk about, first off, I was called out. My town has a local Facebook chat group, and someone posted anonymously on there that, like, hey, what would everyone feel about if we had like a card shop or a game store or something like that? And I mean, I'm like, hell yeah, I would love to see that. I don't want to put the money up for it because it's a big risk, you know. And while we are a large small town, we are still a small town, so you definitely have to, you got to be ready because I don't think it would be easy to keep open in this area unless you were really good at what you did and provided a lot of good product and made it available to everyone. I think that's going to be the big. I think if you just come in thinking you're just going to sell a bunch of sealed product to people and make a quick buck, I don't think you're going to survive. Like, I mean, but the whole point is probably you're trying to come in and make a quick buck. I don't know. It needs to be lasting. It needs to, you know, be something for the community is what I thought. And, but I support if they do this anonymous person. Well, after this anonymous post, everyone at my job thought it was me because I'm the Pokemon card guy. And everyone immediately was like, so you quitting? Like, I don't know. Whoa, slow down. I make a lot of money doing what I do out here, sitting on my ass for 12 hours watching TikToks and sometimes sweating every now and then. But so yeah, it was kind of funny because a bunch of nerds that I work for saw this post on our Facebook chat group and immediately thought it was me. So that's what everyone thinks about me, I guess. The other thing that I saw is this other person posted that they want to do an anime convention in a town in my county, and I don't know if we've ever had an anime convention at all. It's something that I've toyed with attempting to do, but I'm, one, very uncoordinated, and two, I'm not as driven as I should be, so I didn't think I would be the best person for the job. I did at one point start to talk with a friend of mine on the potentially doing something, which, I mean, I guess could still happen. It's not impossible, but it looks like someone is beating me to the punch, so we'll see how this one goes. This is a little anime convention called Anime by the Bay. It's going to be October 17th in Palacios, Texas. They are looking for vendors, artist vendors, and food vendors. Looks like the deadline to apply for those is October 5th. So, like, it looks like a week and a half, 2 weeks out from the event. So this would be pretty cool, man. If you listen to the podcast, friend of the show and a vendor and looking to try something, it looks like it won't be too bad. I believe I looked at the application. I think it's $25 to get a booth, and they said tables are provided. So you won't have to bring any of that. You just bring your product and whatever things you want to set up to stand it up, man. So it seems really cool. I'm really excited and interesting because, you know, depending on the success of this event, could potentially empower myself or someone else to try to do one in my hometown. Palacios is a very small town. Well, not extremely small. Just it's smaller. It's smaller than the Bay City, which is my hometown. So if people are willing to make the drive out to Palacios for this, that'd be really cool. And maybe it would mean something in the old dirty Bay City could be even more successful and have an even bigger audience. So we'll see how this goes, man. I'm really excited to see how this plays out. I've applied for a booth because, one, I sell cards. Two, I do a podcast. So maybe this would be something, one, to help get the name out, and also just, you know, sell some cards, make some money, have some fun. So we'll see how that goes. But that's it, man. That is all that I have for you guys this week. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. I will probably be playing some Halo now because I don't know. It's almost 11 o'clock as I'm recording this. Got to put the sun to bed. guess we'll do that instead. Anyway, thank y'all thank y'all for listening to the podcast. We will see you guys later. Bry-Fy out.